Hi, John Asen, Director of Instruction down at 3D Golf Performance, and want to discuss with you today a pressure point during a little chip shot. We call it the bump and run. It's usually a greenside shot, and it normally doesn't require a lot of loft. I've got a pitching wedge, which is my 48-degree wedge. The situation that's in front of you will often determine if you want more or less run on the ball, but it's really the idea is to bump the ball over a certain amount of rough grass onto the groom surface, the putting surface, so that you can have a more predictable outcome based on the ball rolling on this beautiful grass, and all you have to do is determine the alignment so you can aim. It's almost like reading your putts, except you're going to bump it in the air a little ways before it hits the green surface. So I've got a little chip shot set up on my short game area here. It's only about 45 feet. And I know based on the slope it's going to go a little right to left. And I also know that the green is approximately a foot uphill. So I can be fairly aggressive with this whole concept. But what I want to talk to you with regards to the stroke is a real key element that helps determine how the alignment of your lead edge and left wrist will be at impact. And when we talk about pressure points, we talk about a few different ones in our complete motion. And when we're chipping, what I'm actually trying to do is make sure that my left wrist never has a breakdown to it. Now, this is common amongst the golfing world, where golfers are always attempting a logical swing, which is trying to scoop the ball up in the air, get underneath it, and in attempting to do that, they break the wrist early and have this extension of their right wrist, which then creates a shaft lean that's backwards. And usually, if they hit it good, it doesn't arrive at the target the right way, or the mishits are inevitable. Whether it's a fat shot, a thin shot, you're not going to hit the ball very solid unless you hit it with the face, and that requires some lean of the shaft forward, obviously some weight a little bit forward, and in this case a flat left wrist. And what we're talking about and how to get it flat is just not to actually allow the pressure from a downward standpoint on your left thumb. Do not let it go. So if I push down on my left thumb, I'm going to have an arch in my wrist. The arch in my wrist will not bend backwards as long as I keep the pressure into my follow-through. So my normal setup for a little chip shot like this is going to be somewhat of a finesse stance, usually turned a little bit open in my lower body. My upper body's relatively square, slightly left as well. I've already got the ball position a little bit towards the center, maybe center forward. My hands are on the left thigh, so I've created a little bit of lean in the shaft. And when I strike it, the idea of keeping the thumb pressure down avoids any flippiness, because I can't cup the wrist and put pressure down. They're two opposites. So I want to make sure that I've got the grip in my hand properly, where the heel pad's on top, and I can push down to create this arch. And I may want to do it right at the beginning of my stroke. I may want to just push it down and then leave it there the whole time. The basic motion doesn't require any turn, doesn't require any hinge. Ideally, we keep our weight left the whole time. It doesn't mean that you have to have the ball back and leaning way forward. It just means that you're going to keep your weight somewhat left when you chip on these basic bump and run shots. So each one of those followed the same line, the same trajectory, and had very much the same spin. So therefore, my distance control was dead on each time. And then all I've got to do is use a few different clubs around the green. If I want more run, I might use my 8-iron. If I want less run, I might use my sandwich. So you're going to have some variations, and that's what the tools are there for. So good luck with this. Thumbs down pressure for solid strikes. Good golfing, and enjoy the hit.